everyone, it's Pat from 5 Minute Cruise Tips. The Western Caribbean has great cruise stops, so how can you make the most of those ports? Do you find a beach, book an excursion, stay in port? Now, I can't say what's best for you, but I will give you tips on my favorite things to do in the Western Caribbean ports of Belize, Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Roatan. I'll keep this short, punchy, packed full of information, and as always, under 5 minutes. A quick note on your general options in port. You can book an excursion with the cruise line or private tour company. You could venture on your own by foot or taxi, or you can stay in port to enjoy the dining, shopping, and amenities. Booking with the cruise line costs more, but the benefit is if the excursion is delayed, the ship won't leave without you. First up, Belize. They're building a new island port with a dock, but it keeps getting delayed. So for now, this is still a tender port with a 20 to 30 minute boat ride to the port area. It can take a while to get a tender, especially on a big ship, so get a tender ticket if you want to get to shore earlier than later. For Belize, I strongly recommend booking excursions with the cruise line to make sure you get back to the ship because of the tendering, and because many of the excursions like cave tubing and the Mayan ruins are far away. Booking a private tour in Belize is stressful because you won't know exactly when you'll get to the port to meet up with your group. If you're not doing a tour, I would just stay in port because outside the gates, there's not much to see, and to be honest, I didn't feel comfortable walking around. In the port, there's decent shopping for souvenirs and fake designer bags. I like going to the Wet Lizard bar for a drink, a snack, and people watching. The prices are reasonable, but be careful. The menu has some drink names that aren't appropriate for kids. Next, Cozumel. It's known for great scuba diving, and I think the snorkeling is just okay. For example, El Cielo has the clearest water I've ever seen, but not much fish. The port area is vibrant with bars and lots of shopping. I always buy vanilla for baking, but I turn down the overpriced and watered down tequila. Last time we went to see the Luchadores wrestlers just 5 minutes from port. It was $65 per person, including a meet and greet with the wrestlers or a taco lunch. It was surprisingly fun with cheesy pageantry, and the crowd really got into it. It was a nice break from doing another beach day. In 2026, Royal Caribbean will have a private beach club in Cozumel, so I'm excited for that option. Next, Costa Maya. It's a huge port with shops, pools, bars, and restaurants, but it can get crowded and expensive, $18 for one drink. Instead, I booked spots at Maya Chan Beach Resort, which for $79 includes food, open bar, and transportation. The service is great, the food is simple but authentic and delicious, and it's a quiet, natural setting, so you'll see some seaweed, but no kidding, it had the most comfortable beach loungers I've ever been on. Last time in Costa Maya, we went to the Lost Mayan Kingdom Adventure Park, a 10-minute walk past the port gate. It's $120 per adult, but we negotiated a discount at the ticket window. The ziplining was pretty good, including a ropes course and a roller coaster zip line. The water slides were unique and ranged from slow to very steep. If you have sensitive feet, be wary because the stairs up to the slides and the paths coming back were a little rough. And wear a shirt and shorts to avoid friction burns on the slides. Overall, it was a little pricey, but a good value because you could zip line all day instead of a once and done. Just know that the adventure park might close at some point as Royal builds out their Perfect Day Mexico to open in 2027. Finally, Roatan, my favorite port in the Western Caribbean. I've done an ATV and sloth excursion and it was great, but lately my favorite is West Bay Beach. It reminds me of a cross between Carlisle Bay in Barbados and Great Bay Beach in St. Martin, which I love. The sand is soft, the water is clear, and there's a convenience store where you can get snacks and drinks that may be cheaper than the resorts. Oddly, our cranberry juice costs more than the rum. If you book with the cruise line, it's called the Tabiana Beach Break, but I like doing a smaller private tour for transportation and a resort day pass with amenities like restrooms, a pool, and Wi-Fi. At the resort we were at, the Henry Morgan, the food was pretty good, and the staff even led a bachata dance class. For activities, you can bring your own mask and snorkel right from the beach, or you can do a snorkel tour for $65 per person, and I saw someone negotiate that down by half. One thing to know about Roatan is that the locals are very persistent. Right when you leave the port, they're very pushy to sell you a tour or take their taxi. Just say you already have a tour booked and they back off and point you in the right direction. At the beach, they're constantly trying to sell you trinkets, massages, and tours. Just politely say no and find a chair in the second row back to minimize the distractions. They'll even try to sell you drinks in the water. Another big thing about Roatan is to bring cash in newer, crisper bills because they won't accept old bills. And avoid using a credit card because there's a 19% fee. So there you have my top picks for excursions and things to do in the Western Caribbean ports. Please let me know in the comments what you like to do in these ports. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and check out these videos for more 5-minute cruise tips. See you next time.